in today's video.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Meeple Mayhem. This is our channel all about board games,
and more board games. Today's video is going to be our top 10 best games for beginners. This is just going to be games that we think are really good entry-level games if you're just getting into the hobby, but you're over the Ticket to Ride and Catan stage.
Yeah. So we've introduced board games to a few of our friends and family, and these are the games that we introduced to them.
Yeah, we
first.
found that they're like sort of really good tabletop games, and they're a good entry level. They're simple enough, but then they're still good enough to get people interested.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no order to the list specifically. We're just going to go for 10 games. There's no number one or anything, but yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Do you want to start? Is this like your favourite game?
We starting from here or we start from here?
Top.
Okay. So our first game is My Little Scythe, which it
Might be
looks
surprised
like it's a
by
kids'
that,
game.
yeah.
It does look very kiddie, and we do play it with our children, but it was also for us the first game really that got us into
board
bigger
games.
games.
Yeah.
So
Because it's just a watered down version of Scythe, which makes it entry level. So it's an entry level Scythe game, but it's really fun. It has got kiddie components, but they look awesome. I love the components.
Yeah, they're like cute little animals. If you like that type of games, like in
and there's still enough to do. There's enough rules to do, enough things to be doing. The turns are relatively simple. It's quite a long game, so say an hour. I would say it's an hour game. But yeah, My Little Scythe is a really good beginner game, especially if you want to learn to play Scythe. We always recommend people who are trying to learn Scythe. They're a bit if it's a bit overbearing. Scythe is quite big. There's a lot of rules, a lot of components. So if you ever want to learn it, play My Little Scythe first. 100%.
So for people that might not know what Scythe is, My Little Scythe is like you have to complete like this
task. You're racing to complete like 5 tasks or 6 tasks. And there's loads of things you can do. You can like collect apples and deliver them to the castle, collect gems, deliver them to the castle.
You can get your friendship meter up.
Your friendship meter up, your pie meter up.
Yeah.
You can have a fight with someone, like a pie fight.
You can complete quests, and you've got to collect, I think it's 8 trophies that you need to collect in order to win the game. And there's lots of different ways that you can do that.
I think there's 8 trophies you can collect.
You've got to do 4.
4 or 5, I think, But yeah, it's a really good game. Lots of it's really good. This is just, there's enough rules and stuff that it's a step up from real simple games. It's really good fun.
Yeah, we really enjoy that game.
Love that game.
Yeah.
And the second game is Lords of Waterdeep. This is easily the best entry level worker placement game
that we've played.
Yeah. It's a really simple thing. You just sort of like you try to complete quests to earn victory points, and you do that by just placing a worker, picking up some cubes or some money. And that's it. You keep doing that and doing that, trying to complete as many quests as possible. We introduced this to your sister, my brother, my friends. They love it. We love it.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Enjoy this game.
There's expansions that don't even add too much complexity to it. Just add a bit more to it.
Yeah.
So, which is you can add the expansions, and it's really fun. Yeah. We love it.
It's a really fun game, and there's not loads to it. It's sort of like you do the same thing, but it doesn't.
It's not got the greatest theme.
No.
Like if you're not into Dungeons and Dragons, it's a Dungeons and Dragons game. So if you're not into Dungeons and Dragons, it's not got the best looking thing, but it's a really solid, good game.
Yeah, it's really good.
Love it.
So our next game is it's number 3, but it's not really number 3. It's Tenpenny Parks, which is a theme park game.
It's another worker placement, but then it has tile laying, which is really good to get people into like the whole like thing of laying tiles on a board and stuff like that. But yeah, super fun again. We've introduced this to loads of beginners and they love it.
Yeah.
Really, really fun game.
I've been looking for a theme park game for ages. We got this and really enjoy it. Yeah,
you're just trying to build out your own theme park. You can sort of expand your land and you have to cut down trees if they're in your way, and you can go to the bank and then you can pick up different rides, and there's those little secret cars where you're trying to think. So there's enough rules in it, but it's all quite simple.
Yeah, that's what I was
your turn's very simple. Your turn is just lay a worker.
And it's all like it explains it well to you, so it doesn't feel like there's too much going on.
No, it doesn't. And your actual turn you haven't got that many options. It's sort of like get a ride, cut a tree, go to the bank. They're sort of your 3 things you can do. It's not like certain games. Like when you play heavier games, there's like, I don't know, 50 things you can do, and it can get a bit overwhelming. Where Tenpenny Park is a really, really good sort of starter game, mixing mechanics. Where Lords of the Waterdeep is just a worker placement.
Yeah.
Tenpenny Parks has sort of a couple of things you can do, and it's really good. Really, really good. Right. Number 4 on the list. Number 4 on the list is a family favourite of ours. Our daughter loves this. It was one of our first games we got as well, a long, long time ago. It's called Silver Bullet. It's like a card-based game where you can't see your cards. So you start off with your 5 cards in your town, like down, and then all you're doing is you're drawing a card and either discarding it or swapping it for one of the ones in your village, and you're trying to get the lowest score. But each card has sort of special powers. Like number 8, you can shuffle other people's cards up.
Yeah.
Number 7 lets you look at all your cards and then put them back down again. There's loads of different really, really cool things. It's hilarious. It's always tight. We play this with our 7-year-old daughter, and she beats us.
And she learnt the game
by
from
just
watching us play. This is why we thought it'd be a good game to put in for beginners.
Yeah, because it is all you have. I find games are simple if you're on your turn. There's not many options. So all you can do is pick up a card, and either you want to swap it because it's a good number for one of the cards in your village, or you can discard it and use its power. And that's it. That's the rules.
Yeah.
You pick up the card numbers and what they do as you go along, but it all says what they do anyway. So
you don't have to memorise what each card does. It does say on the card what it does.
And it's just really funny because there's some times where if you haven't had a chance to look at any of your cards, you get a really good card and then you swap it out and you're like, damn, I just put a 0 down, and someone else can pick that up next turn. And it's really, really funny. It's always tight. Good game. Amazing pocket size. You can stick it in your pocket and go around with it.
Yeah, and that is Silver Bullet. There is other...
Silver games.
Yeah,
the whole silver range. I think there's 5. There's Silver Bullet, Silver Dagger.
Is it Amethyst or something?
There is something Silver something. I can't remember. There's loads of them, but our favourite is definitely Bullet.
Yeah.
It's we find the cards are the most balanced because we've got Dagger
as well, yeah.
Dagger, but some of the cards are really powerful in that, like a bit over the top.
Yeah.
Like the number 3 in that. If you get the number 3, no one can give you cards, take cards away from you, and it sort of ruins it a little bit.
Yeah. And then the next in our list...
Another family favourite.
...is Dungeon Mayhem, which is a battle...
Yeah, we've picked this. We've got quite a few battle games, and we've picked this as the best beginner, battle games, where you're going at each other, trying to destroy each other.
Yeah, our kids really enjoy this game.
Yeah.
And you basically... You all get a player, and you get, 10 health, and you play cards.
You get your own deck.
You get your own little deck, and then you have to attack your other players.
Yeah. Each player's got their own...
down to 0 health.
Yeah, each player's got their own style. Like, we've got the big box, and there is... Oh, there's loads of characters in here. 12 characters in this box. This is the one with the expansion as well. We've got the expansion in here. There's 12 characters in here. The artwork is really, really cool as well in this one. The kids love this. It's really, really cool artwork. And basically each player is different, and you're just sort of I think the 3 things you've got are attack, your shields, and you've got a pick up and thingy card. Oh yeah, and recover health. And on your turn, all you can do is play a card, and sometimes you can play combos depending on what cards you lay, and you're just trying to attack each other until you all lose your health and one person's victorious. The kids play this, and they're 7 and 6, so it's definitely about... We play this ourselves. It's a really fun little battle game.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And all the characters are really different. They're all different. So some of them focus more on health, some of them focus more on attack, some of them focus more on shields, some of them focus on you can pick other people's cards up and use them. They're all different. There's also a Marvel version which we've got, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
Dungeon Mayhem is awesome. Awesome little battle game. Do you want to do that one?
No, you can do that one.
Tiny Towns is the next game on our list. This is like a little entry into sort of set collection. You're basically trying to build out a town, but by doing it, each person takes a turn and they pick a thingy, and everyone else has to pick that same colour block. And basically trying to build little shapes, because then on each card is the shape of the building. So an L might be a church, and then you get to do the church once you've built that. You're just trying to build out your city and make combos, but it's a good little introduction to set collection games. Yeah, it's really fun. Really nice components. AEG always got really good components.
Yeah.
The kids play this as well.
Yeah.
So, and thinking we play this on our own. And it's good. It's really, really good. And you can change it up. So, at the start of the game, you draw 5 or 6 cards, and they're they're the cards you're going to be aiming for. But there's different ones. So you shuffle the deck up and you can put different buildings out. And different buildings give you different combos. So if you place markets next to farms or houses, you get more points. If you've got a certain number of houses, you get extra points. If there's a church, you get that if that's with something else. And yeah, it's really simple, really fun, quick to play. Good game. Good beginner game.
And the next one on our list is King Domino.
This is quite famous. This is nearly Ticket to Ride famous. I think quite a lot of people know this game. This is fun.
I think it's the same.
Do you think so? I don't know. It's pretty famous, King Domino, though. It's pretty big.
Yeah, we got Dragomino, which is like the one before it.
Which is like young. That's really simple.
And then there's King Domino and Queen Domino.
Queen Domino's even more advanced.
Yeah, Queen Domino's more advanced, but I think King Domino's a good one
balance,
for,
isn't it? Yeah.
for the beginners.
You're basically picking up like domino style like tiles when they've got two different terrains on them. So sand and water or something, and you're trying to build out your kingdom.
It's a 5x5 grid that you can build.
Your scoring works by the amount of the same terrain touching by the amount of crowns in that terrain. So certain tiles have crowns on them, 2 or 3 crowns or 1. So you just times your score, but you're just trying to build it out, and it's really quick, really fun. We play this as just us.
Yeah, it's a really good game.
The kids love this. Yeah, it's a really simple one again that you can just play, and yeah, it's a really, really good another tile laying game, I suppose, in a sense.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it is.
Really fun game and really good for
beginners.
beginners.
It's like dominoes, but more advanced.
Yeah.
It's more fun.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, and then the next one.
Go on
then. The next one on our list is Patchworks, which is another tile laying. You have to sort of build your own quilt.
Basically, you're building a quilt and you're trying to get butter. Same sort of, that's a King Domino style thing though as well, a little bit. But it's polyomino tiles, so it's all like Tetris style tiles, and you're trying to fill out your board and try and get as many buttons on the things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun because you start off your markers like on a board, a round board, and by the time you get to the end, that's when it's over.
Yeah.
And on there's little square patches you can add in to fill little gaps, and also you don't just get to pick any tile. When the person moves it, the 3 in front of it. So when the person picks them, the little marker moves, and then the person can pick only 3 in front of that. So like it's hard. Sometimes people are getting the ones you really need. It's one of the first games we ever got.
It was,
yeah. It's a really good entry into sort of polyomino tile laying games.
Yeah.
And another pocket sort of game you can just thingy. And it's a 2-player game only, which is good for us. So yeah, good patchwork. Number 8 on our list
is... We're number 9 now.
9 on our list, sorry. Number 9 on our list is Camel Up. What a game. This is almost on the edge of a party game. Yeah. We've introduced this to loads of people. Even your mum has played Camel Up.
Yeah, it could class as a party game. It is a really fun game.
It's basically a camel racing game. You're betting on camels that are racing around the track. And it's got a really cool mechanic where if they land on the same square, they stack. And the camel at the top is winning. So then if the bottom one moves, he takes all the others with him. So it's really hard to sort of gauge who's going to win. Because you could be like, oh, it's definitely going to be this one. But then a camel jumps on it and it's gone. And then it's like, damn.
And then there's also horses. There's also camels that can bring the other camels back.
Oh, the black and white ones are crazy. They're called crazy camels, and they go backwards.
They go reverse.
And if you land on them and then they move, they can bring you back. But
so you could think one's really in the lead, and then that could pick it up and take it back and make it.
Yeah. I've played this with my friends as well, just us 3 as well. It's a really, really funny game. Like I've never played this and someone hasn't enjoyed it.
No,
everyone enjoys it.
We do enjoy racing games. We have quite a few, but we definitely think Camel Up is probably the most entry level.
Yeah, it's the most simple. All you have to do is sort of, because on your turn you can either roll the dice and there's like a little pyramid dice box, and when you press it the dice comes out and that chooses what camel moves, or you can bet on the camel, or you can do a big bet. So you can, because each round is like a furlough in a horse race. You're doing loads of little rounds, and then you can bet on the whole overall winner as well.
Oh, the
overall loser.
Yeah.
Which makes it really funny, because it's hard to like sort of risk, because you can go for it and then someone can just dominate it and you've lost it all, and it's always really funny.
It's always hard to gauge when you should make that bet.
Yeah, it's mental. It's a mental game.
Sometimes if you leave it too late, then you miss out on getting the bet, and that's what gives you the most money.
Yeah. And the last one is Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle. Is it Harry Potter? Yeah. Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle. It's a co-op deck building game. Really simple. We love this. We opened this and we didn't put it down for a week. We just played it every night.
It non-stop,
And it was one of those ones that like you don't want to go to bed. We were like, we better go to bed. And it was like just one more level. You're basically just trying to fight all the enemies from Harry Potter and places, and you're playing cards and then you're buying cards and you're just trying to defeat them, and there's loads of powers, and it's really, really fun. And then it's also got like a sort of a legacy element, so every year you advance in Hogwarts, you get to open a new box out of the thingy that you haven't seen yet, and it adds new cards, new enemies, even some of them had dice and different actions. Really good game. You play with your sister, and she got it straight away.
Yeah, she got it straight away.
It's really simple, because all you can do on your turn really is sort of like discard the cards you want and either use them to get like hits or money, and that's it really. And then you're trying to buy cards and defeat bosses.
And I think as a beginner going into board games, it's good to have a game where you're working as a team, so you can learn how to play.
And the
together,
theme, obviously, everyone knows it. It's nothing like out there like D&D. It's Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Like, it's really, really good.
But you can learn how to play the game together rather than being against each other. Because I find when we play games together where it's where we're against each other,
if one of us knows the game more,
if we want help, we don't want to be like, oh, can you tell me what this card is? Because you don't want them to know what the card is.
Yeah, you're always doing that.
Yeah.
And it is unfair. If one of us know the game more than everyone, you can usually destroy the person.
Yeah.
So it's a bit unfair where that's fun to join and play together. And we're not huge fans of co-op games, but we love that.
Yeah. But I'm a big Harry Potter fan, so that could be why.
And we have the 2 expansions, which we haven't opened yet, but I'm excited because they're meant to add different things to it. So yeah, but
that was our top 10 games that we recommend for beginners.
Yeah, like they're like the next step. So if you really, really want to get into the hobby, like you've played a few board games, you're like, oh, I really want to get into the hobby now. They're definitely worth checking them now.
Yeah.
But don't get into the hobby, it's too expensive. But if you ever do want to get into the hobby and you do want to be broke, then they're good games to start with.
Yeah, and if you haven't played Ticket to Ride or Catan before,
they
are two that would have been in the list.
Staple starter points.
But they're like Monopoly to most people. So we did this video
now,
assuming that people would know what them two are.
Yeah, and they've enjoyed them and they thought, do you know what, let me dig a little deeper.
Yeah.
And so you end up like that. Which is...
that's not even half of it.
That's not even half of it. When you end up, you end up too deep in the hobby.
Yep.
Well, it's your fault, but...
Definitely not my fault.
What?
It's your fault.
No, it's your fault. You're like, I like board games.
No. It was you that found board games. And it's you that continually buys more board games.
She says this, right? But when we go into the shop, you're like, oh, this looks cool. Oh, maybe we should get that. Look, he's got the expansions for this time.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh, you're buying board games again. Blaming me.
Yeah, because it's you.
But you put the seed in, I'm weak.
No.
I'm weak.
I'll go in and want one game and you go have a pile of 10. Or every time we go in there, it's like, oh, I've got that game we talked about.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a good hobby. I love it. It's good family time instead of just sitting monging out on TV.
Definitely.
It's good. Definitely. And there's so many good games. Like, that's just 10. But I could name another 10 of the next little step up and little step up in increments. And then we could get on to
for another day.
We get on to the big stuff then.
But yeah, that was our top 10 beginner games.
Yes.
If you enjoyed the video and would like to see more videos from us, please hit the subscribe button and the like button if you enjoyed the video.
And leave a comment below if you would like us to do the next step. Maybe go midweight.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do midweight. Yeah. Let us know, because that'd be fun to sort of like let everyone creep up until...
Yeah, or
their
if you
brain's bleeding.
Or if you have any other suggestions of videos you'd like to see from us, then do let us know in the comments.
And we do like a beginner game, so leave any other beginner games you haven't tried.
Yeah, that we haven't mentioned.
Yeah. We do. I sometimes like to chill and play a...
Yeah, if it's like late, or we'll play a big game and then it's not too late and we want to play a little game, then we like to play little easy games.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Done?
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.